YouTube, what's going on, man? It's your boy Dion in the building, chilling with the beautiful, the one and only
Jasmine Young.
Hey, and we here to talk about some really cool things regarding credit, okay? 2020 is the year of getting your credit together, getting your life on track, and all that fun stuff. So we got a few tips we want to share with you all that will definitely help you improve your credit score very fast.
Yeah, we thought, it's a top of a new year. New year to get a lot of things in order for the rest of the year. So what better way than to, get your credit on point. So the first tip that we're going to share is, well, I think the main one is to pay your bills on time.
The obvious one.
Right. It shows that you're reliable. And then, past performance, payment performance is an indicator of your future payment performance, obviously, right? So what you have done or what you do currently it tells the lenders kind of what you're going to do in the future. So that's why that's important. But if you're behind on payments, I'd say just bring your accounts current as much as possible, and go from there.
Simple. Take care of your business, okay? We don't need to do the scheming, trying to pay somebody to quick boost your credit score. You can do this all by yourself. Hard work, dedication, but like she said, definitely start with the debt you already owe. Tackling that first.
Set reminders if you have to do automatic payments or whatever, so that you don't forget to pay your bills on time. Again, I know some things happen sometimes where you may come up a little short one month. It happens to the best of us. But just try to bring it up as current as possible. When you get current, just try to stay current, and then keep them on time.
Facts.
So the second tip is to keep your balances low on your credit card and on other revolving credit, because there's this thing called the credit utilization ratio.
Yes, and so with that ratio, it's very important to keep in mind to only use 30% of that credit card that you have, okay? So for example, if you have $1,000 credit line, you only are able to use up to $300 of that credit card. Once you begin to go over $300, your utilization kicks in. The banks are recognizing that you're using money you technically don't have, and your credit score begins to do.
Really?
Y'all get the point, man.
Right. So, it's an important credit score calculation, this whole credit utilization ratio score. So you want, like Dion said, to keep it under 30% or less, because it lets lenders know that you do well at managing your credit and keeping it low. If you can discipline yourself to use your credit card, having a credit card is not necessarily a bad thing, because you can use your credit card to gain points, points to get rewards and redeem for free cash or gas or other reward redemptions that they have on the credit cards. But again, you want to pay that off like right away. So you kind of want to do that when you have the money already in your account, or that that you could pay it within 30 days. So it doesn't go over 30 days and the interest starts kicking in and tacking on. So you want to do that, consistently right away. So if you could do that, having a credit card, I would say, isn't really necessarily a bad thing to have. Maybe one or two, but not like 5.
And the key word she said in that phrase she was speaking on regarding credit cards is discipline.
Yeah.
Okay, discipline. You must understand, yes, nothing wrong with a credit card. 1 or 2, the reward points are really cool to have and things of that nature. But at the same time, it's discipline and understanding that technically the money is not yours, okay? Don't beat yourself up. Understand that this money is not yours. Use the money, use the credit card, I should say, as a tool to help you get the credit score that you want, okay? Not use the money for Jordans, clothes, fashion. No, use the money and understanding that I'm just gonna swipe this card only to activate it, okay? Show that I'm using it. Put that money right back on the card, okay? And keep it moving. And from there, like you said, discipline, hey, you gonna win.
Yep. So then the third tip is to apply for and open new credit accounts only as needed. Just don't go gung ho and just start opening up a whole bunch of credit accounts, or just because you're thinking like, oh, if I open up multiple different types of credit accounts, that's going to help diversify my portfolio. Well, not necessarily if it doesn't make sense.
Correct.
And if you're doing too much at one time, and it's not necessary. So you only want to do it when it's necessary. So a good mix, I would say, is like, an auto loan and a mortgage and then a credit card and what else? Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
But that'll help kind of diversify your portfolio and not have too many hard inquiries on your account.
Exactly. The hard inquiries will kill you. They stay on your account
for how long?
2 years.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't want those on your account. Now, technically, you got some people, if you want to invest money and spend money to find somebody to get them off of who using this cheat code and that cheat code. But the foundation of it, yes, inquiries will definitely stay on your account for 2 years, so you don't want that. And it also shows that you're applying for money you don't have anyway. So you don't even want that. Like she said, only apply when you need, okay? So it's called patience. 2020, we must have patience building that credit score, okay? You can do it.
You can. So the next tip is don't close unused credit cards. Okay, usually you don't want to just close a credit card. If you leave it open, it'll help with your credit utilization ratio. So obviously the more credit that you have open and the more you're paying off on your debt, your ratio gets smaller and smaller. So that's a good look. That's a good thing to have. But if you go closing off all your accounts and your credit cards, then you're closing off those credit lines, and then your ratio is gonna just shoot up. It's gonna look like it's more than what it really is. You could just not touch it, pay it off, cut up the card if you want, but just leave it open, because it's also good to just have build a good credit age period with your credit cards.
And speaking on what she's talking about, because I've been there when I've had a credit card, let's say it had an interest rate or a high interest rate that I didn't want, I would say to myself, well, now that I have the card paid off, let me just close it. And my wife would say, no, don't close it, because you don't want to close your account. That's kind of going to hit your credit in a negative way. And I can understand, but I'm like, hey, I don't want to have this card open, even if I ever want to use it again and mess around and use it, and then that interest rate is very high and I can get caught back up in debt again. So another cool tip that she also recommended is definitely something you should want to do to put your own destiny in your own hands, is you can call your creditor. You can tell them, hey, I don't owe a balance. My credit score is going up. I would like to have my APR reduced to a lower rate.
Or, if you get those monthly maintenance fees or annual fees, you can chop that off. You can have them waive that, especially if you have good credit. So you can that's negotiable too.
Negotiable, and it's all about negotiation. Understanding that you are the customer, okay? So you do your part by paying off your credit card. You can call them and have those requests, because guess what? They don't want to lose a customer. You threaten them with the whole, I'm going to cancel and move on, and they know you're paying your card, you're doing everything on time, you've been with them for so long, trust me, they will work around it to get the job done, okay? So keep that in mind.
And then I'd say that the last tip to consider is to dispute any discrepancies on your credit report. So that means that you have to review your credit report or get a copy of it and look at it. And I'd say, I do it kind of quarterly, at least once a year. Once a year is good, and this is a good time. Top of the year, it's January. You want to make sure your house is in order and everything, your finances. So get a copy of your credit report, look everything over, and then start setting those plans and strategies that we talked about, tips and there's so many other more out there, if you do your research, and then just start implementing that. Maybe just start with the top 3 or something like that, just to kind of get down. And then when you get that down, go to the next 3 or something like that. So that'll probably be, good. So you're not so overwhelmed to try to do a million different things to get this credit in order. I'd say start with a few and then keep rotating it.
Absolutely. And just going off what she's saying, take your time in 2020. I think the key thing will get a lot of people caught up when it comes to credit or rebuilding their credit is that you rush. You want the credit score right now, next month, I gotta have my 750, my 800, and it's like, the reality of it is no. Take some time out to learn, read, understand what you're looking at, understanding your FICO score, understanding how much debt you're in, understanding how much utilization you are using when you spend, when you're swiping that credit card. Understand it. The more you understand, the better you're going to feel and the better prepared you're going to be when it comes to building your credit score. So keep that in mind.
Absolutely. It's a new year. It's time to set new habits, new trends for, well, I don't want to say trends, just new new ways of doing things for the future. So new patterns, okay, that you want to start developing, and new disciplines that you want to start implementing in your life. So let's do it. 2020 is a whole new decade. Start this decade off right, okay? It's the beginning of a whole new decade.
That is awesome. I can't believe it's 2020, man. So like I said, I just been feeling in my spirit alone that 2020 is going to be a phenomenal year. But I feel like for you all out there, that make 2020 a foundation. If you started something back then, 5-10 years ago, you just kind of just not where you want to be, you stuck, you just off track. Use this year to just start over.
Yeah.
Start over.
Yep. Make it a point. Don't give up. Just keep going.
Yep.
Do the best you can. Start with the small changes first, and the small behaviors and actions, and go from there. And then when you start seeing results from those things, then you're going to be encouraged even more to take bigger steps, risks, and bigger leaps of faith. So we are excited for you.
We are excited for you. So with that being said, use these steps right now, okay? Get your credit up, okay? Step your game up, level up. It's 2020.
We right there with you.
We right there with you.
Trying to level it up.
Oh, facts.
Okay.
Oh, facts.
For real.
We ain't playing no games this year. We got 2 kids too. Oh, it's not a game.
Yeah, man.
All right, y'all. Y'all be good, man. Y'all stay blessed. We love y'all. And until next time.
Bye.
Peace.